The parting of the Red Sea is one of the most astonishing miracles in the Bible. Found in Exodus 14, this story showcases God's immense power, His faithfulness to His people, and the triumph of faith over fear. Let's delve into how this miraculous event unfolded and changed the course of history for the Israelites. The Israelites' Exodus. After years of slavery in Egypt, the Israelites, led by Moses, were finally freed by Pharaoh after a series of devastating plagues. Exodus 13:18 tells us, "So God led the people around by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. God's presence guided them in a miraculous way." Exodus 13:21-22 says, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. He did not take away the pillar of cloud by day or the pillar of fire by night from before the people." Pharaoh's change of heart. Despite releasing the Israelites, Pharaoh's heart hardened once again. Exodus 14:5-6 explains, "Now it was told the king of Egypt that the people had fled, so he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. Pharaoh assembled a powerful army with hundreds of chariots to pursue the Israelites. As the Israelites camped by the Red Sea, they saw Pharaoh's army approaching and were filled with fear." Exodus 14 verse 10 captures their reaction. "And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were very afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord." Moses' faith. Amid the panic, Moses reassured the people. Exodus 14:13-14 records his words. "And Moses said to the people, 'Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace.'" God then gave Moses instructions to perform the miracle. Exodus 4:16 states, "Lift up your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea." The miracle unfolds. As Pharaoh's army drew closer, God's pillar of cloud moved behind the Israelites, creating a barrier between them and the Egyptians. Exodus 14:19-20 describes this divine protection. "So it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Thus it was a cloud and darkness to the one, and it gave light by night to the other, so that the one did not come near the other all that night. Moses stretched out his hand over the Red Sea, and God sent a strong east wind that divided the waters." Exodus 14 verse 21 says, "Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. The Israelites walked through the sea on dry ground, with walls of water on either side." Exodus 14 verse 22 captures this miraculous sight. "So the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left." The Egyptians' pursuit. Pharaoh's army followed the Israelites into the sea. But as they advanced, God caused confusion among their ranks. Exodus 14 verse 24-25 recounts, "Now it came to pass in the morning watch that the Lord looked down upon the army of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and he troubled the army of the Egyptians. And he took off their chariot wheels, so that they drove them with difficulty." Realizing God was fighting for Israel, the Egyptians tried to retreat, but it was too late. The waters return. Once the Israelites reached safety, God commanded Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea again. Exodus 14:27 describes the moment. "And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And when the morning appeared, the sea returned to its full depth, while the Egyptians were fleeing into it. So the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. The waters engulfed Pharaoh's army, leaving no survivors." Exodus 14:28 states, "Not so much as one of them remained." The Israelites' celebration. Safe on the other side, the Israelites witnessed God's power and believed in him. Exodus 14:31 says, "Thus Israel saw the great work which the Lord had done in Egypt. So the people feared the Lord and believed the Lord and his servant Moses." In Exodus 15, Moses and the Israelites sang a song of praise to the Lord, exalting his might and faithfulness. Exodus 15:1 begins, "I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea."